It's like I'm very, or at least I feel pretty visible as like somebody who plays a lot of Exceed and is putting content out, and I'm like hyper casual and I make a big point of it. And I feel like it's been pointed out to me that like I maybe we've been cultivating an excessively casual environment in the sense that um, some competitive attitudes have been kind of frowned upon, like the idea that like, oh, it's degenerate to pick this character. It's like, oh, you just want your opponents not to have fun and to feel bad if you pick this character, and it's like that feels terrible to me. And so I'm trying to help with the sense of like raise a more competitive spirit in the game without losing any of the sportsmanship that I feel like we have cultivated, because I think we are generally a very good sports in this community as like board game players and card game players. Um, so essentially, if I'm playing in the tournaments, that's where you'll see me play competitively. In most other cases, I play super casual. I say this because like people who have seen me play on stream most of the time and have seen my Guile plays and have seen most of my YouTube videos are like, this didn't look like D playing at all, right? Like I played super safely. I essentially checkmated. That's not a thing that I do normally. But I want people to like appreciate the competitive aspects of this game more. We yeah, I don't think we have a problem getting new people from the casual perspective. People love this game casually, from what I can tell. Um, like, I don't think that's an issue. Yeah, what concerns me, Squid, is the idea that like you shouldn't pick a character because your opponent might not have fun, and it's like that's a really weird perspective. And I feel like if we're just a little bit more competitive, we'll lose that mindset, and we'll come into the mindset of like, if your opponent's playing this character, you have to learn the matchup because it is a competitive game. Does that make sense? Yeah, so Drunk Kirk Franken is saying, like, we'd all just play Melian. Melian is probably the strongest unbanned character. She's extremely good. Um, like, extremely good. I expected her to be uncontested at Worlds. She actually ended up not being. Lucia actually ended up taking Worlds, but only one game over Melian, basically. But yeah, like, I've seen people badmouth people on the Discord for, like, picking characters that are perceived as negative play experiences for their opponent. And I just really hate to see that happen. It feels bad. So, like, I want to kind of lean in the direction of, if you're having a bad time, learn the matchup. And, like, accept that your opponent will just play somebody that might stomp you. Like, I might pick Melian next round. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm running random because I'm still me, after all. But I'm playing the characters that I pull competitively. And then last week, I actually ran two chosen and one random. I didn't even go full random. But if Melian comes up in my random, I'll play her. Because people need to learn how to deal with Melian. Okay, so submitting games. Yeah, right? See, like, Drunk Crank and mains, if I remember right, Seijun and Eugenia. And people talk about Seijun as being this, like, super scary, uncontestable, unbeatable, overpowered, and she's not. She's totally not. I have trashed enough Seijuns to know this. She's strong, but there's nothing wrong with picking a strong character. And there's such a tendency to go, like, hyper-casual that people are like, oh, you shouldn't pick strong characters because they're strong. And it's like, this doesn't make any sense. Pick characters that you enjoy playing. And then Eugenia has the thing of feeling like she's like, she's a burn deck, or not a burn deck. She's a, what's the word for it? Wait, do you not main Eugenia? Jeffrey is good. Jeffrey's great, actually. And what's funny, because like myself and another high-level player have a ongoing argument. It's kind of a running joke at this point, which is that we disagree with how he should be played. I think he's a zoner, and Boogie thinks that he is a melee heavyweight, like a big brawler who just sits in melee and tanks hits and hits back. I think he's like a nimble, flighty dude who runs around all the time. So we feel totally different about them. Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought you mained Eugenia because of that one tournament where you went undefeated as her, if I remember right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So right. I like Because like I have friends like Bear, who's the TO, likes playing Lily, and people are like, oh, Lily is awful, cancer, horrible. I'm like, it's fine. Learn how to fight Lily. You'll be fine. She's strong. Whatever. I have a friend in real life. He loves Mei Lian. She's his favorite character, and he feels guilty for playing her. And I don't want anyone to feel guilty about playing a character they love, right? Like, that's no good. So the reason I want to be more competitive is to make our casual environment healthier. Lily is just a character, like, she's a nimble gunslinger. She's just a fast ranger, and her shtick is that she always has more range than you. Like, her normals have extra range, so she can poke you with a grasp from range 2. That's super rude, but whatever, deal with it. She doesn't have much damage. That's her weakness, is that she's bad at range 1, and then she relies on getting you out of range 1, and her damage is really low. Like, if she gets to your range 4, she slams you for much damage. Range less than 4, whatever. Deal with it. Yeah.